Praveen is asking, ma'am, what is the right way to self-love? Praveen, there is no right or wrong way for self-love. Self-love is self-love, right? Where does your self-love come from? Self-love come from the space of you forgiving yourself. Because all of us have made mistakes in the past, and most often when you don't love yourself, there are two reasons. You were never taught to love yourself, because the moment you started loving yourself, or when you started focusing on yourself, you were taught that if you're focusing on yourself, it is wrong, it is selfish, and you are self-centered. So the society teaches you to focus on outside. And the moment you start focusing inward, you're blamed, or you're labeled as you're self-centered and selfish. So you were never allowed to focus on yourself, and that's where you don't know how to love yourself. And the second thing could be that, whenever we make mistakes, and whenever there's a challenge in our life, probably you blame other people in your life or whatever happens in your life because somebody did something to you. And we keep that anger and we hold on to that blame that somebody did to us. But ideally, if you go deeper into that space, you will realize that you actually have not forgiven yourself for being in that situation. It is nothing to do with that person, but it is ideally to do with you. So then, in that case, how can you start forgiving yourself more? So, I wouldn't say right or wrong way of self-love. I would just simply say that if you want to love yourself, every single day probably do two things. Every single day, forgive yourself for what did not go well for you. And when you are in that, you were in that situation, or you were with that person, or probably you're in that relationship, or whatever happened in the past, or the mistakes or choices that you made in the past that didn't go well for you. So how can you start forgiving yourself more and more? Your child self, like whatever is your current ages, maybe what yesterday happened, day before yesterday happened, before that happened, all of these are younger you. And how can you start forgiving those younger you for making those mistakes? Because whatever mistakes you made in the past, when you came to today, now you look back and you feel that was a mistake. But in that moment, probably that was the only choice available to you or to your brain. In that moment, you only saw that as a choice available, and you made the best choice possible. So today when you look back, because you have become wiser than that person, you are looking back and saying, hey, you know what, you're so stupid, you could have taken a different decision that time, and that you didn't take it, and that's why this is happening. Now you see, you have become wiser today, but you're very condescending with that younger you who's there, who's feeling miserable because you are reprimanding him or her. So how about forgiving yourself every single day, looking at that past you who made that choice? And the second thing that you need to do for self-love is start spending more time with yourself and start doing things that you really, really like. So what are some of the things that you truly like to do for yourself that makes you feel that, it's like, your heart goes zoom, like, that song is there, my heart goes zoom. So how do you feel that zoom inside you when you do something for yourself? Not like, I'm not saying that you go and do some substance abuse, because that time also probably your heart will go zoom. But what can you do all by yourself? Maybe, reading a book, maybe just simply gazing outside in the nature, or going for a walk, or maybe just sitting down and having a cup of tea or a coffee. What makes you feel that inside, that contentment within yourself? For some people, I know some people, those who are like, some women love to dress up, some women love to do makeup, do their hair. What makes you feel good about yourself? Do that at least one thing every single day. These are the two things: deeper work and forgiving yourself. And second is externally doing something that makes you feel worthy, that makes you feel that you are paying attention to yourself. These are the two ways I would recommend you to start loving yourself more. And the moment you start loving yourself this way, it doesn't mean that you don't give other people the attention. You do everything that you're doing right now and paying attention to other people. But trust me, what will happen when you do these two things? When you forgive yourself for the past, and when you start focusing more on yourself, at least doing one thing in a day for yourself, you will have experienced that you are suddenly have become more generous and more kinder to other people. Try this and let me know in the comment box later on, maybe, that how are you feeling once you have started this. And bit by bit, every single day when you do these things, you will see that you are actually started loving yourself and making yourself whole and complete, so that you are ready to go into the world and help more people. That's another way of self-love, but that comes later, because when you help more people, you start feeling that love within yourself also, because we have a deep soul need. Our soul has a deeper need to help more people, because that's how the human race has evolved from millions of years, by helping more people evolve. So first you focus on yourself, you fill your stomach and you take care of yourself first with these two things, and then go a step forward, then go that extra mile and find that one person in your life every single day that you can help. It could be anything, or maybe if it's not a big help, find that one person in your life whom you can just give a generous compliment, not a fake compliment, but a generous compliment. That could be a stranger too. Like if you found somebody doing some good work, you can probably go and just say, this is something amazing. Like I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was walking, and I was walking by a bus station, and there was a footpath, and there was this one, kind of like I wouldn't even call it a hut. Like it was like a 4 bamboo pillars, and on that there was a tarpatri put. And I just happened to see it because there's this young girl who was, ready for in her school uniform, like really neatly ironed, clean uniform. She wore it and she stepped out of that small place, and she was laughing and giggling and smiling, and she's so excited to go to the school. And the moment she did that, I couldn't really stop but noticing the adversity she may be going, or her family may be going through that space, and she stepped out with this beautiful clean uniform, ironed uniform, and biggest of the smile on her face, which I haven't seen in many people, those who have probably the greatest of the houses, etc. I couldn't stop myself, but I just simply stopped in that moment, and I just complimented her. I said, it's so wonderful to see this. And now together we have decided that together we'll be, as a community, chipping in some money, and we are going to make sure that we rehabilitate that family. But that, I couldn't stop noticing this girl who came out of that small place with such a great attitude. So maybe, be more observant, and you can also, compliment strangers like that when you see something amazing. So this is something like, small act of kindness also builds a lot of self-love, because remember that in universe, what you give, you get back. So what you sow shall you reap. So what do you want to put? Because you want to feel more kinder towards yourself, and you want the world where people are more kinder towards yourself. So how about starting to give that kindness to people, those who are outside? So let me know if this helps you.